Hi guys and welcome to my home. Today we are making Apollonia Poila's famous sourdough bread. Here are the ingredients. If you don't know how to make a sourdough starter, I will link a video in the description below on how to make one. My sourdough starter is about 2 weeks old now and has developed a nice vinegary smell, I would say, and is very active, as you can see from the bubbling on top. We are going to get started by measuring 410 grams of our sourdough starter into a large bowl. Once you have done that, you can go ahead and feed your starter like you would normally. Don't forget to feed your starter every day. It will become stronger and bitter in taste the older it gets. Also, by the way guys, my starter is 2 weeks old now. I feel like I should name the pet. Does anyone have any good suggestions for names? Please comment down below. Now that we have fed our starter, we are going to get started with our dough. Pour your flour on top of the starter first. I accidentally went in with some water first, but then I remembered it's actually flour first. Then you're gonna go ahead, take your salt and pour in the salt. And now pour in your water. Slowly combine the ingredients in a bowl as good as you can. You can use your hands to do that or a spatula like I do. I'm going to take you guys to my dining table now, as we need to give the dough a good knead. First I'm going to flour the surface and then my hands. As you can see, the dough has not really come together yet, but as we will start kneading, this will change. I'm using the ball of my hands to knead the dough. I have made sourdough breads in the past that were a lot stickier and wetter than this dough. This one is by far the driest sourdough, so I was really curious how this bread would come out. After the dough has come together nicely, which took me about 7 minutes, you want to rest the dough in a draft-free place for around 2 hours. After 2 hours, you want to check on your dough. If it has risen about twice the size, you want to give it a final knead before it goes into the second resting stage. If your dough has not risen, leave it to rest for another 30 minutes to 1 hour before you give it the final knead. When you knead for the second time, you want to make sure your kneading is controlled and gentle. Fold the edges in and turn the dough around. As I turn the dough around, I'm starting to tuck the dough under with my hands. The goal is to create a small hole on the bottom side of the dough. This process might take some time. Now you want to get your proving basket or lined colander and flour it generously before you place the dough into it. Make sure that the hole you created is facing up. Rest your dough for another 4 to 5 hours. After 5 hours, my dough was ready to be baked. Apollonia Poila says that your dough should not rise above the rim of your proving basket or colander. She uses her fingers to measure the space between rim and dough. 1 or 2 finger space is ideal. Preheat your oven to 240 degrees Celsius together with your Dutch oven. Once your oven has reached the temperature, take out your Dutch oven. Flour your Dutch oven and tip the dough inside. Be super careful, as the Dutch oven is very hot. Next thing you want to do is scoring. Take your blade. I just used a simple razor blade that I got at my local store. You can also use a very sharp knife. I tried to score a leaf shape here, but you can go for whichever shape you like. It doesn't really matter. You want this process to happen fairly quickly as the bread has already started to bake. Close your Dutch oven and bake with lid on for 25 minutes. Then take the lid off and bake for another 35 minutes. After 1 hour of baking, my bread looked amazing. Although the leaf didn't really look like a leaf, I let the bread rest until the next day as it was already quite late. The next day I wanted to give my bread a try. I still don't have a bread knife, so I struggled a little bit with the cutting. This is also the first time I cut my bread the way it is facing now, as I wanted to copy the exact way Apollonia Poila was doing it. The bread crust came out thick and crispy. The inside of the bread is dense with a lot of evenly distributed holes. When I tried the bread, it had the typical sour taste of the sourdough, but it was a lot more filling than the ones that I used to make. In my opinion, this is the perfect breakfast bread. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the recipe, and I hope to see you soon.